Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Zoll, and this is a brand new project, just completed it. It is developing a 2D platformer in GameMaker Studio 1.4, and we are going to develop this within about 3 to 4 hours. It's going to be 3 sessions worth of information, and it goes from, the first session starts off a little slow, builds up. Second session, a lot of progress done. In the third session, there's a lot more progress done. This isn't a full-fledged game by any means, but it is definitely the base mechanics for you to start your own adventure game. Or your own platformer game, my bad. Now, I will probably start to continue this development into an actual game of some sort, but I'm not 100% sure. You can download the project resources right here, so you can work along with the videos, or you can mess with it yourself and test some things out within the videos, or if you just want to see what we accomplished. So, we're going to go into the sessions here. First of all you really need is Canva and GameMaker Studio. You don't even really need Canva, but it's a helpful design tool, two-dimensional design tool that I use a lot for my games. You don't need it. Like I said, I used it for text entirely in this game, so you really don't need it, but it was very helpful. It was very easy to use. Little irritating parts about it sometimes, but it's very easy for the most part. So session 1, just like all my other videos, they're very simple. Just the basic foundation of the game. Controls, gravity, first level, that sort of thing. And that takes about 40 minutes. Session 2, animations and enemies. This is where things get interesting. We start adding animations for the main character from opengameart.org. We'll go into that more in the videos. Collision events, we're going to add some if-then statements about collisions. Enemies, as well as some blood splatter. It's very interesting how that's designed in this game. In the third session, bug fixes, sound effects, and teleporting. So we're going to be fixing bugs, obviously. We're going to be trying to fix the gravity, and you'll see what happens from there. Adding a teleportation method, and then we're also adding sound effects. So it's a very simple process, but it's very surreal, actually, looking at the project when it first starts and when it ends, because it looks like a very different game, and it looks pretty good. But I'm a little biased, so I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.
Hello, thank you very much for watching today. My name is Jacob Zoll, and we're starting another new project. I'm on a roll here. I'm going to be pumping out as many projects as I possibly can. I love doing this. So this project is going to be about making a two-dimensional platformer game in GameMaker Studio. The platformer game is going to be, I guess, more of an adventure game, 2D adventure kind of game, but it's also going to be a platformer. So, without further ado, first of all, I just want to say that I am going to, if any of you have watched my previous videos, one of the videos was a game called Inaccuracy, which was talked about being ported to iOS and Android. I will have another project on that shortly. I just am about to order a MacBook. So for the iOS export in GameMaker Studio, technically you can use a Hackintosh, but you're going to break some rules there, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use a MacBook. I'm going to buy one on eBay, and from there, what we're going to do is I'm going to make a whole video, a whole session of videos, whole curriculum of best practices and everything with exporting a game from GameMaker Studio to Android and to iOS, and then uploading them in those stores. We might even go over advertising and putting an advertisement in the game, things like that. So just look forward to that in the future. But now, without further ado, we will jump straight into this. Now, first of all, before we get into the actual game, I want to share with you this. It's called Hack and Plan. I have personally not used it yet, and for this project, we're not going to use it. But it is a cool tool that I just found out about today, along with opengameart.org, which I've used in a few of my other videos, or one of others videos. I'll put these both in the curriculum intro, as well, for links and everything for you to click, or to copy and paste. And this is great for project management. It's completely free. It's great for project management. with larger projects. So like the RPG I'm working on another project, for a future video, I will probably start using this in the next video. That just depends on your creative process. Personally, I don't like using this sort of thing for a small project like today's project. But for you, I'm not sure how you process things, how you go about making your projects. Whoa. Oh, okay, I see what I did. This is just a sample project. You can add members here. Tells you how many tasks you have. Like I said, it's for large projects. So like this could work for our RPG game. Things like this. But it's not going to take us 241 hours to make. I'm going to task, and you can create new things here and estimated hours and everything like that. So, that's just an idea. If your creative process for video games is different than mine, to do things like this, to label throughout your process. Now, chances are, if you're making games, you might start off making like small games, like we are here today, but eventually progress into more larger actual projects, like things that could take weeks to do, months to do, with a team potentially, maybe one or two other people, aiming for a large release date on Steam, on maybe even PlayStation. It really just depends, because the New Game Maker Studio has exports that aren't cheap, but they have them where you can export to PlayStation. I think there's Xbox there. I don't think the Switch is out yet, export for that. But things like that, and it's really cool. Eventually I might do that, but no promises of that. So we are going to jump right into it. We're going to create a new project in Game Maker Studio. We're going to call this 2D Adventure Platformer Project. For now, we'll change the name when we have an actual name. So first thing we're going to want to do, of course, is go to our trusty source of opengameart.org. We're going to probably just use one of these simple platformer packages. Just the platformer is going to be one of the easier games to make overall. Generally pretty fun. I like platformers. They're cool to make. These images are really, really small. Some disappeared. It's not completed nor polished, but generally, also, you would just want to make sure when you look at these that you want to take a look at the copyright and attribution notice, just to be sure you're not violating anything. And if somebody asks for explicit, or if they have required copyright, or give them credit at least, you don't want to go and just step on that, So, let me just link back to my profile page to. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We run 15. Let's see, where can I. Here we go. So we're going to download this, and we're going to give this guy some credit. I might just make the whole game out of this. Now, I like doing art myself if I can, but generally I cannot. So, videos, accuracy, worth more. Okay, so we're going to create a new folder. I need to start like really organizing this and not having a all my videos folder. 2D Adventure Platformer. The swoosh, I don't really know what that is. What that's for. Attacking, maybe? Looks like it. I'm not really sure, though. Alright, so let's take a closer look at this, because we can. Okay. Character sheets. I really don't like how this is all laid out. Like in every single project, it's always like laid out like this. But there has to be an easier way to have animations. Hmm. We don't need anything fully animated. We do need to figure out which one here is the walking animation, though. I'm really not a fan of animations in GameMaker. Now, there's got to be an easier way to do it than how I do it. There isn't anything that's going left, though. Okay, well, that's not gonna work. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Now, there's a game in the past that I have developed as well, doing a similar style. Not similar style. It's called Runner Up. Come on, Game Jolt. Load, please. Page not found. Oh, okay. Let's just look up the game. This is another potential way we can make the game. This game's called Runner Up. Made it in like 12 hours. Live streamed it a few years ago. Over 5 years ago. Wow, okay. Time flies. 2013. Wow. Okay, so it's a very simple game. Basically, all you do is... I did all this art. So the guy just constantly moves, and you just have to click a button to jump. So you gotta jump and then jump, and it's a practice game. There's not really too much skill involved. It's really just practice. So, we can do something similar to that. We just need some sort of graphics. Let's just jump into it. We'll go over here, take a look at the sprites here. That's alright, so it's just very plain, right? So we don't want to do anything that plain. But let's see. Let's try our hand at pixel art again. Sorry, I know I'm taking a while to get into this project. Main_SPR, and this will be the main character. That's using the Pac-Man symbol up here. Edit sprite. 32 by 32 is fine. Alright. I always end up making a circle of some sort. I don't like that at all. Just the record, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just... kinda... Yeah, that didn't go quite as planned. Alright. just make a circle for now. Easiest way to do it. I get really caught up into it doing the art, and that takes more time than it should, and it slows the progress down at the beginning. So you make an object, you're going to change the name, and go down to sprite and change the sprite as well. So what we're going to do is very simple. Key press left. We're going to key press right. I'm going to bring this over here. Make the right. We're going to move 5. Press left. Move left by 5. We are going to key release left and stop, and key release right and stop. Okay, and then we're going to add another object, just plain object. We're going to call it grav underscore obj. No sprite because we want it to be invisible. I'm going to hit create, and we're going to, oh, my bad, that's friction, make gravity here. We're in a object, apply to main, direction is going to be 270, it's degrees, so 270 degrees is straight down, and gravity is, say, 5. Now the jumping mechanics are a little different. Okay, so what we can do is we'll use, let's see, keyboard and space. Actually, wait, key press, keyboard, or space, sorry, key press, space. And what we're going to do is move up at a speed of, say, 3. And then key release, now a space, and we don't want to stop, we just want to, okay, we'll see how this goes. So we're going to do another sprite here. We're going to do call floor underscore SPR, edit, 32 by 32 is fine again. How can we do this to make it a little more interesting? Alright, what we'll do, we'll do a little brown. No, I want a little silver, that's what I want. Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's do square again, but bring it to this, oh, wrong again, bring it to the top one here. Okay, we'll make this one dark. We'll change the opacity to 25, which is the transparency. I didn't mean to do that, so we'll just do this. Okay, and then 200. This will be the floor. 175. I think it's the same kind of silver or gray. That is in the background, so it's a little hard to make it out which one's which. So we'll just call it that, and that's the floor. So floor underscore obj underscore obj. Got a floor here, solid. We'll make the main object solid, by the way, as well. And add event collision with, no, sorry, change add event collision with the floor. just move fixed. That should work. We're gonna hit this rectangle button here. And you can hit Shift and Control, hold it down. Except you don't want to go over with transparent objects, because then they just look more transparent. Or sorry, not more transparent. They look more solidified. So you're placing it over each other. I really didn't want to do this high. All right. Actually, we'll put it up here. We don't make it too high though. Sorry, and I'm all over the place today. Actually, let's do that. So it doesn't fall out. Main there. We want to test the walking a little bit. And I have an idea of what I think is going to happen. But, okay, so we're going to go to Resources, change Global Settings. We're going to go to Windows and Display Splash Screen. Uncheck that. We'll change the name of that and everything when we actually have a name for the game. But I think what's going to happen, the way it's designed, is that, well, that works. Right, so let's see. Oh, I don't have gravity enabled, right? There we go. Gravity's in the room now. So the thing is with arcade games like this, or not arcade, platformer 2D games like this, is that once you have the basic mechanics down, it's really just level creation, basically, and looks. Okay, so you're gonna do collide to floor, start moving direction 0, or stop. That was the problem. Okay, the thing is that gets you stuck with the ground, which isn't good. Gravity might be too strong. Let's try this. 2. Try that, because I can't even do anything. I can't jump or anything like that at all. This is actually how Levitating Larry started. I have a game called Levitating Larry. It's on Android devices, actually. I re-uploaded it not too long ago. And it started out as an attempt to be a platformer, but I couldn't figure it out, the jumping and everything. So what I did was I just made the game a feature based off that bug, where you have to keep tapping to keep jumping and you can't fall straight back down. So we're going to increase the speed to double it and see if that does anything. So the game is basically on mobile where you hit jump and you just keep jumping to move around and stuff, and you're levitating basically. So yeah, that's not doing it. The gravity might still be too high. Let's do 0.5. Well, that's what I mean by the levitating. But let's see, can I? Oh, there we go. You can move in the air and stuff like that. So what we need to do is, let's see, main, press space, start moving a direction. Try relative. I've never actually tried using physics, so if that doesn't work, if this doesn't work, we'll try that. Well, that didn't work, so we'll try that. Alright, let's disable that. Use. Sorry about that. I don't know if you heard that. That's someone's making commotion outside. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Okay, so I want to say we had to use like blocks, as in these right here. These are what they're called. Yeah, they're blocks. We had to use if and collision and stuff. So let's see. First place. So start moving in a direction, right? If there is not a collision at main underscore obj.x and main underscore obj.y, no, if there is one, sorry, then start moving in a direction, and that should counteract the jump only up to Alright, let's try making the speed more. That could be the reason why it's not. We'll change it to 8. Maybe that's the reason why it's not jumping, because it's not powerful enough to jump up. But it should be, so I'm not sure exactly. No, it's not moving at all. Okay. If there's a collision at position, start moving in a direction. If there's relative to, no. Alright, that's annoying me. Windows, don't do that. It does it so often, I don't like it. Alright, so main. We don't want to stop, we do want to set the speed to 0 though. Let's see if that does anything. If there's a collision at Alright, so we're going to start the block. If there's a collision at a position, start moving in a direction which is up for the jump. Otherwise, that makes sense. Alright, maybe it has to do with the collision. I really hope that's not in the recording. Practically yelling outside. Alright, so space. Well, that's good. At least it's vertical speed. So I didn't try moving left to right though. I should have. Let's try if there's not a collision. This is exactly how Loathing Lair was born. I kept doing this, and I forgot exactly how. Alright, well that worked for that. That didn't work for that though. You can only hit it once, you can't just hold it down. But so overall that kind of works. So we press space. I wonder if we do this. Vertical speed is 5. But then you release space. I think it's just that button. I forgot that we didn't enable that, the stop button on the other one, so let's try that. Yeah, okay, so let me change that back. We're not going to do that, that's stupid. So we're going to go up at a speed of 5. And then release space. So what it's doing is it's stopping in midair. That's why I was stuttering before. Why is it bouncing? What? Why is it bouncing? I don't have any bounce mechanics in there. Up at 5, okay. Release space. That's why. Wow. Oh god. I had coffee earlier, but maybe I didn't have enough. Up at 5. We don't want the bouncing to be set at on collision like that. That was not good. But now I can't move again. I can still do that though. I can't remember if it was vertical speed or horizontal speed. We could use that as the feature, falling down. So we do something like, if there's no collision being detected, a character like has an umbrella or something like that. Into the keep mashing the spacebar to slow down like that. That could be an interesting mechanic, but not if we can't get this working. Try to check collision on other. See how that works. Make sure this is all good. Yeah. Nothing. Okay. try that, and then we'll try collision with the floor. And if none of this works, I'm going to Google it and not be ashamed. Collision. Oh, I think the problem lies in... Okay, so even if this does work, that's still not giving you a second cooldown before you can jump again. So what it's allowing you to do is still jump in midair because you're still not touching the... you're not colliding with the floor. Okay. Google is your best friend, so do not feel ashamed or like you don't know anything about making games and stuff, because you have to Google things. At a step event, then in the step event you check if the space below your spray is collision free. Okay. Set gravity and we'll set the gravity to work if you'd like, otherwise. You should know like character too. Interesting. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to use this code. Sometimes I use code for this for things like this. The step event of player execute a code. Okay, add event, step. We will execute, go over here. We're going to do execute script. Oh, sorry, not execute script. Execute code. So this just pops open right here. I'm going to give this. This is basically what that guy just described right here. Because all this means, the gravity direction is 270. If the place is free, gravity is 0.5. Otherwise, it's 0. So, first of all, let's change the gravity to, oh, it is 0.5. Okay, that works. Okay, and then we're going to press space under the jump execute. Okay, execute this if place not free. So let's delete this gravity thing just in case it messes with it. And that should work. I think I do have to edit where the position is. It says X, Y +1. We want it to be main underscore. No, that works. Yeah, you can like slow down the fall, which, as I said before, can be used as a feature. So let's go over that again real quick, just so it's understood. Sometimes, like I said, game maker language is easier to use than drag and drop. Overall, I prefer drag and drop, but there are certain instances like this, and there are certain things that are going to be coming up with future projects that involve variables, health and score, and potential multiplayer in the future, things like that. So, with those in mind, games like, for example, a Cookie Clicker, or a tower defense game, or things like that, code might be a bit more beneficial than drag and drop. Simple things like the Breakout type game I made, those can for the most part use entirely, really, drag and drop, except when it comes to like the tilt commands for mobile, which we will have to go over when we port them to mobile devices. So, okay. That's good. So now we're gonna make a real level out of this. I mean, we've only got a few things here, a few objects. So all we're gonna do, very simple, make the character there, floor here, straight across, a few rows of that. Gotta be a little careful though. And then what we could do is like that. Something like that. Okay, so then we're going to change the background. We'll make a background. So we'll go over here, edit background. I'm going to resize the canvas to say 1000% more. It's alright. Actually, you know what? We can stretch it, so what we'll do is we'll just resize to 300%. And what we're going to do is do something like this. Oh. Very similar to what we did before with the floor. Except it's not going to be as much. We're just going to do a little bit of this. Say maybe to 175. Actually, we'll go down a little further. Feel free, by the way, to send me a message if you have any questions or anything like that. Alright, actually, we'll stop there. We'll just fill it in like that. Plain white underscore VG. Norm 0, background, plain white. And we're going to stretch it. Foreground, background, not foreground. I'm not really seeing a difference here. Maybe that's because it's too transparent. Actually can't even jump up on that. If you do that, you'll get stuck. Oh, I jumped off. Oops. I thought I could jump that high. It looks like you can only jump 64 pixels high. Well, at least. Alright, so the step, let's see. Now it is a little clunky with the code moving left and right as well. So what I might want to do is fix that using code as well. But we'll deal with it for now. In the next session, we will probably go over that. We're gonna have to. This is not gonna work. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, we're going to do, turn to Google again, moving 3D. You can make 3D games in GameMaker, by the way. A little more difficult, but okay, that's all being done in code. We only want like the step events of moving in code. It's alright, it's not a big deal this moment. This is a little too high just because you can't really reach that. You also can't move and jump at the same time middle of the air like you should be able to. So the stairs are going to be annoying. I jumped off again on accident. Okay, so that's it for this episode. That's this session. In this session, what we did, really all we did was set up the very, very basics of the beginning level. We configured the jumping, and that's basically all we did. We are going to have to get some more coding in here for moving left and right, as well as configure the level some more. Maybe add some trees, some kind of imagery in the background, or not trees, won't fit with this, but something like that. Can't just build a game. We have to have not a story necessarily, but some sort of premise behind it. And then from there, we can go to the next level. And then views, we should probably mess with too. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next session.
Hello, my name is Jacob Zola, and welcome back to another project. This is session 2 of our 2D platformer game that we're developing. It's going to be very, generally pretty simple. In the last session, the first session, what we did, we made the base mechanics of the game, basically. A little bit of level design. I changed it a little bit since the last project. Made some gravity, messed around some ideas, things like that. Nothing too complex. Very, very simple. Now, in this project, what we're going to be doing is I compiled some sprites already and a background. So I'm not going to be using this anymore. So we can click on this. I'm going to change this to, say, main_BG. We're going to load. I'm going to use this. I think this fits the aesthetic of the room a little bit better than the other one did. Only problem is these are a little bit transparent, so we'll see how that looks. Looks okay in the preview down here, but we'll see. So, and we're also going to change our sprites. So we're going to do this. We're going to load, and I have, let's see, where's this? Player. I'm using a retro kind of guy looking guy. I got these sprites off of OpenGameArt, actually. So we're going to use this one up here as just the main guy. Thing is, in order to avoid, if you watch one of the other projects, you know how much of a pain it can be with selecting animations and everything and make sure it's all positioned right. So this is a platform, just a little easier, but that will be a lot easier now that we just did that. So we'll delete that now, paste that, main R, we'll do that. And then we'll do another one, another sprite, main L, SPR. Actually, you know, we can main L underscore SPR, because we want a static image of just the guy facing the direction we want him to, and we can flip it. So now he's facing left instead of right. Okay, so now we're going to make the animation of running. So main, let's just do run right underscore SPR. We'll do load. Oh no, sorry, we'll do edit. Go to file, create from strip. That's the wrong folder. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running to the right. And we'll do the same thing with running to the left, except we're going to have to flip all of them. So it shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so this is going to be a lot smaller. than the last project we worked on. It's really 40 wide. Only annoying thing about this is you can't zoom in, and I really don't like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so there are 8, but they're not separated by that much at all. Alright, so the last project we had to do, if you saw, with the RPG, we had to do this, except we had to do it 4 at a time, or 3 at a time, or a certain amount at a time. And when we have to do this, we want to go to File and Add from Strip, not Create from Strip, because that's just going to delete everyone we just did. Sometimes you can't position it right. Okay, so run right's done, and I'll duplicate this, run left underscore SPR. We're going to edit, transform, except we're going to want to reverse the order, because now that it's backwards, we don't want him starting off in a full sprint and slowing down. We want him to do the same thing he did the other way. It doesn't look right to me. Let's see. We can't. Okay. So this one doesn't look right. The second one, leg spread on the second and the third. That's because it's supposed to be the first image. Alright, what we're going to have to do is open up the original file and make sure it's in order. Come on, Microsoft. There we go. Windows. Alright, so looks like this one is first. And then he is kind of jogging for the second. This one goes before that one. Then that one does go next. leg spread again. Long leg, short leg. Okay, so the left one is good. Right one. This one should be perfect. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, cool. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we need to change the main. He's going to be main R, yes. So we're going to press right. We're going to go to main 1. We're going to change the sprite into run right. And then when we release right, we're going to have him change back into main right. Okay, so then we're going to do press left. Do run left. And then release left, we're going to change into main left. Oh, that should be good. Ooh, I didn't position him perfectly in the room. I think he might be beneath the floor. We'll see in a second. Look, Miles. Come on, Game Maker. You can do it. That's pretty cool looking. He's stuck. And let me see if I can... Alright, so we'll go to the room here. First of all, let's go to background. Let's... Do you want to stretch the image? I'm not sure how I like that yet. Let's do 0 and 0. So we can position them correctly on the ground. Might be a little too low there. What we're going to have to do as well so nobody walks out of the room. Okay, we'll try that. By the way, I've got some very exciting projects coming up. I'll go into that in more detail later, but I'm looking forward to them. So, stay tuned. That's pretty cool looking. I like the old retro style look to it. It looks cool. I mean, obviously it also worked a lot better than the last sprite that we had for our character, which part of the reason is just the shape and everything, and the animations and everything, is why it wasn't great. Also the jump mechanics, I disabled them on accident, kind of messed it up somehow. But it's okay, because I don't really want to jump in this game anyway. So what we can do here, if we're in a slide now, so we're in a slide, main, slide, or we're going to do slide R, underscore SPR. Edit sprites, file, create from strip, because then he slides down here too. I thought I had an idea earlier. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. But the whole game could be based on this mechanic if it works well. Dang. I clicked away to look at the image without the borders, but I ended up clicking it away myself. Alright, it's gotta be a little bit wider. Width 42. Okay, we'll try that. And then we'll do copy, duplicate. We're going to do slide L underscore SPR. Edit, same thing we did before. Rotate, or not rotate, flip, mirror. So now we're going to make some new commands. So we'll use Z and X just because, why not? So we're going to go letters, X, it's going to be the left. Actually, you know what? We'll change it to A and D, more widely used. And far further away from my touchpad on my laptop, so. Alright, press A. And we're going to want to change the sprite to slide left. And we're going to turn the speed to, let's see, what is the normal speed? I forgot what we set it at. 10. We'll change the speed to 12. Then we're going to do the key release for the A key. Which is going to turn it back into main L. Excuse me. And it's going to stop moving direction. I'm just going to copy and paste that. It's a little easier. Okay, now we're to the right. And we did 12, so right, the 12, speed of 12, and then press D, yeah, and then release D. And that is going to make us stop and change the sprite. Oop, not the object, my bad. Delete that. Change the sprite. It's made right. This might be a little jerky, just because it's only 2 animations. But we'll see. Now my idea of this is to, oh, let's see. It does not work. I don't know why I thought an animation would work. It looks like he's having a seizure. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. Instead of doing 2 of those motions, I don't know why I put the falling motion, that was kind of stupid to be honest. We'll just do the one on the ground, but then we also need to move them closer to the actual ground. Now, if the character dies, we can use this motion. And have him, we can change the gravity or something and make it like really heavy so that all he does is just fly straight through the floor, and then collision event hits the floor somewhere, and then game over. But we might not even do this in this, because this is a very basic adventure platformer kind of game. This isn't like a full-fledged game. I might work on it afterwards as like my own game, but it's not planned on to be a full game through development through the videos here at this moment. Alright, so he's not exactly on the ground for some reason. He also looks like he's a little above the ground for some reason. Whoa, I didn't know it went that far. Alright. So how tall are these? These are 45 in height. These are 40 in height. So 45 in height, which means these can be, these need to be resized to 45 in height, and then we need to move them down again, just because when it adjusts from the main character, that's 40 height, 40 pixels, and then adjusts, or sorry, it's 45, and then adjusts to this, and then it's 40, so it's a little bit up in the air, 5 pixels above in the air. Hopefully this fixes that issue. And we changed him a little bit. I made him a little out of the ground, so should help out. Otherwise, I like how it looks. It's a cool looking mechanic. He might be going a little too fast. Actually, he is, I think. Okay, let's go over here. Press right. Let's move the speed down to, say, 6. And we'll change this speed to 8. Now I'm thinking because we're not doing jumping, the mechanic, the feature for this game is he slides everywhere. So what we can do is, let's do slow. That looks good though. We should change that to maybe. We should change his running speed to. Yeah. I'm thinking. There's just a lot of emotions going on there, so we can actually have to stretch that out. So what I was saying, the feature we can use in this game is, for example, because he's not jumping, is, so for example, let's do this. Now in theory, this could work. Instead of jumping over this obstacle, he has to go underneath it. And he can only go underneath it by sliding, which has been done in games plenty of times, I know. But it's an interesting mechanic. I would say he does that, though. And he's stuck in it. Oh, okay. Let's see here. So what else can we do? I'm trying to think of how we can stop him from having to get up. Alright, so what we can do here. So I'm going to try this. It might not work. If it doesn't work, we're going to have to find some other way to do this. Maybe make an invisible block with bouncing in it or something like that. So if there's a collision at this object, or if there's a collision at X and Y, which is not really sure how to describe it. Let's see. 32x. So it would be main underscore obj dot plus 32x x plus 32. I'm not sure if that makes sense in terms of the code. But job, what are the right job? OBJ. This might not even launch. If it does, it might actually work. Still in the left way though, not the right way either. I have a feeling it's not going to launch. Or it does, it's not going to respond well once we get to that point. Alright, let me think about this a different way. So over here, x416. Oh, it's y. Why am I thinking y? It's minus. Alright, that was stupid. Okay, so xy minus 32. Let's do minus 64 and see if that maybe it's the range there. No. It's this. It's gotta be. I mean, hopefully this, I don't think this is gonna work. Still, for other reasons. But I was using the arrow key left instead of A left. I was thinking left in general, not the movement left for this object. Perfect. That works perfectly. That's the first thing we've tried to do that's been like, I need to fix this, and it's actually worked. That works amazingly. Great. So now we're just going to do the same thing with the D. But then fuse the arrow keys, and it does that again. Alright, well. Alright, so if you're... Let's see, okay. Release left. So we're going to do the same thing here with, if there is a collision, 32 pixels above you, then start moving up. If not, yeah, that's right. I did that again. Now, it's theory, we shouldn't be able to use the arrow keys at all. Underneath the block. I also need to change the animation for that too. It looks a little high. Okay, so it's still changing, but it's not running anymore, which is progress. If there is not a collision, let's try 64. Maybe the range is a little different because it should still work. And if this isn't working and you still get stuck a little bit, that's not the end of the world. Okay. Try a little bit lower. I guess it's not. It can't be a range then. Unless it's. What if we can do? No, I don't think we can do that. I was thinking to pick the actual object, like we have main object right in there. So what we can do is try y minus 24. No, no, we don't want that. Alright, so it is working, kind of. So what's happening? So, if you hold down the right arrow key, it continues moving as you're sliding, like that. Just a different speed. If you let go, like just tap on it, you're gonna get stuck. Which, end of the world, it's not the biggest deal, so. I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's not a big deal. So, we're gonna do this for now, placeholder, enemy underscore SPR. We'll make it, can't make it black because of the background. So I guess I'll make the opposite of black. We'll make complete contrast to it. Just as a placeholder for now, it might not change it, we might, I'm not really sure. Alright, so what we're going to do before we continue with that, we need to run right and run left, we need to fix this. Actually, they all look pretty much good, except the first one. Actually, they all look good. If they're all good on the right side, they're all good on the left side. Only thing is, it's a little fast. So we're probably going to want to change that. That's not going to be a big deal. We'll just change that in a second. I'll just add this guy to the room first. So we're going to do then enemy dead underscore SPR. Add a sprite. Just going to do just an X right through. Not exactly what I'm looking for. It's good enough. I mean, that's very obvious that he's dead. So, so main. Collision with enemy. Changes the sprite. Enemy dead. And then sets the gravity to 0.5 for the enemy. And then what we're going to do before we continue, we're going to save, and then we're going to adjust the sprites. Let's see here. So we're going to go over to run right. We're going to add a sprite. In case you don't know how to do it already, you get animation and stretch. So right now it's 8 frames. We want to switch stretch it to 10. It's not a big jump, but it's enough maybe. We don't want to go too far and have to go back. So we'll do a little bit at a time, and probably be like 12 or 13 or somewhere around there, which isn't a big deal. It's a very easy thing to do. So my idea from this game earlier was a little bit about, that's better, I think go a little bit slower. That's probably good, just the way it is. My idea earlier was how this guy's very clearly like a Fight Club kind of, not Fight Club, like Street Fighter kind of esque character, and usually, fighting games, and obviously the sprites are very fighting like. Whereas I was thinking, not what I meant to have happen. So I was thinking it'd be ironic if this is a game where he was like a kind of stealthy, Change, there we go. Enemy, yeah. Then it'd be a little ironic if he was stealthy and only came out from behind, and you know what I mean? Like things like that, where it's not like a beat 'em up kind of game, it's almost like a stealth game. Alright, it's going to be better if we do this, actually. That way there's no collision there. Enemy dead underscore BJ. We're going to make just an object, not solid. So we're going to turn this enemy. We're going to do main. Hitting the enemy doesn't change the sprite, but it changes the instance of the enemy into enemy dead. And we're going to change the gravity to like 0.1. Because we want him not to just drop by and like it's hard to see him die. We want the player to be able to jump in there and be like, oh wow, I killed him. That's, I don't want to say satisfying, but you know what I mean with that. I'll sure change the size, it's a bit big. That way we can continue sliding by. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to change the size of this. Stretch. We're going to keep the aspect ratio. Do say 80%. Not much smaller. It's kind of big right now. We don't have the same size. I'm not bigger than the player. And this is just a mock-up. I think we're going to change it. I mean, it's kind of dull and it's very white, and it's just like it doesn't fit the contrast very well. Better. I need to position the guy again now. So 0 and 0. Okay. Alright, so now let's go over here. Let's see if we can find another some more art for an enemy. Just because I would love to find an enemy with like a blood splatter or something, just to be ironic, you know? Kind of like an enemy like this, except, you know, two-dimensional, not top-down. Platformer-esque, I mean. Be great. And then blood splatter would just be so ironic. Just because, I mean, maybe irony isn't the right word, but we want it to be over the top. Might be able to find a blood splatter elsewhere, though. Oh, spelled soldier wrong. Does not help. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We got some stuff right here. Soldier walks and Master Chief. So we kind of want the art to feel similar. I'm going to save this. It might be useful in another project. Let's just see how this guy looks. BMP, I'm not exactly sure what file this is. Is it a white background? What? What are you doing, man? Get him too pixelated, like, so it's got the vibe of the current character we have. It's not really find anything here, so let's just see what comes with this. Maybe a character with some blood splatter. That's a little over the top. We don't want it to look like he's just sliced in half or anything. That's a bit over the top. Okay, this one might be good. Player sprite, 4 zombie sprites, gun sprite, blood. Okay. I might be able to steal some of that. Not really steal, it's Creative Commons. But use some of it for our needs. Yeah, WinRAR. Okay. Whoa, this is a lot of stuff here. Let's extract that. Alright, let's take a look and see what we got. Oh no, is this a top down? Okay, well, that sucks. Might be able to use the blood splatter if they have any, but not really much else we can use from that. This is probably the most annoying part of making a game, in my opinion. Just finding assets that work well with your game, that are free, unless you make your own. If you make your own, that's more entertaining for you to watch. Like, if I was making my own art, it'd be so much more entertaining to watch than me scrolling through open game art, which you could do on your own time if you wanted to. So, but I can always like design blood splatter. I mean, it's not going to be the hardest. Blood splatter is kind of just pixeled anyway, but I'm not going to be great at it. It's not going to look fantastic or anything. It's just going to look okay. Blood effect, blood splatter. It's got to be kind of like a bomb, almost. Alright, so search. Let's do a. It's all about keywords too. Like, this is all way too pixelated. Be cool. That's not gonna work. That's gonna work. That would work. That could work well. So now we just need an enemy of some sort, like an actual enemy. Nothing crazy over the top like that guy. Nothing too like a low definition, low dimension, low resolution. I mean, he's not the highest resolution, but higher than some of these. An army of little men. Okay. Pixel army. Wow, that is creepy. Missile RTS icon. Actually, what are we doing? I'm not really sure what other words there are for a soldier. I mean, I was expecting something similar or something easy to come up, but I don't know if there's a similar now. I was thinking there's a similar. Like on eBay has similar items to look for, things like that, but they don't have that. Let's try to look at this real quick. I know it's a little annoying looking at this all with me, but we can use that, one of these guys here, and just change the color. Go to a darker color if it would work. And that, if I can't find anything on another page, I'll use that. just because we have to get the show on the road, we got to get back to making the actual game. Yeah, okay, well, it's the best we're going to do. I think I accidentally added to the Worthmore project folder. So we're going to... Oh, okay, actually, sorry, cancel. Nope. Enemy dead. No. Enemy, here we go. Load sprite. Desktop. Edit. We need to go in here and take just this one. Oh, no. Did not want to do that. We're going to grab him. And I don't know why he designed it like this. The background is dreadful. Not dreadful, but I mean, we have to go through and erase the whole background. Now what color is the... Let's see here. It's not that bad. What color is Army like wear? It's like a dark green, not this kind of green. First, let's go and do this. Well, let's not do that much. The rest we're going to get in close personal and to pixel to pixel. Okay, let's do this. There isn't too much left to do for the first level here. That's basically what this entire video is about. This session 2 is creating the first video, creating the first level, giving an enemy title screen, and then in the next video we'll probably go through the whole level design and stuff, and just make levels and things like that. That's a solid plan. I don't like how this color really doesn't contrast well with the background or the other player. It's blue. I don't like it. I'm definitely going to change it. Other characters' blue is like, blue works the background. It's also not bright blue, whereas this is kind of, not neon green, but it's very green. But before I mess with it, I'm going to save this just so we have one without the background in it. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go back. And we can change the color a little bit later. I'm not too worried about that right now. I wanted to change it, but not too worried. I kind of a little more wanting to just get the blood work and everything done. Blood work. Sounds so professional. Okay, let's get back in the game here. I guess it's relatively believable. It's not too realistic looking, but it's not too unrealistic either. So we're going to call this blood_SPR. going to go back to here. Blood splat. We have some options, don't we? We don't want any blood trails, really, or splashes, or I guess splashes if anything. I guess we kind of just want this, if anything. We don't want them to disappear or drop to the bottom of the earth. And we did. Let's load back in the whole thing and see if there's anything here we can use. No. What we can do, though, is save this as PNG, NVSPR. I don't want to keep mixing files, so let's go back here. And then what we can do say rotate. We want to rotate them, but it needs to be a bigger canvas. It needs to be 47. We'll do 50. We'll rotate them. We'll do a little bit of work here. So we will, oh, first of all, that's not good. Put that up there. Alright, we're going to say maybe a little far. We'll see if I can rectify this. Okay, so let's do this. Let's color that. First, it's just a straight black, but I'm going to copy and paste the color just to be sure. Alright, so we'll do this. Alright, let's save this for a second. I don't like how this looks. It's not looking good. Let's see if I can. So if I could rotate this on the ground next to him. I don't think that's really needed, so we'll just keep that enemy dead like that. Sure, why not? And there we go, it's already an object. So I'm going to hit main, attacks the enemy, change the instance into enemy dead. Yes, perform events. Don't set the gravity, but create an instance of, let's make the blood an instance. Blood underscore obj of blood obj at enemy underscore obj dot x, enemy underscore obj dot y, and then we're going to set the gravity to point 270's direction, and then point 1 for the blood. Just make sure that's it. And then what we're going to do is have the blood collide with the floor. We should be able to have it fade out or something, I think. No, actually, I'm thinking of this though. I was looking at this the other day. I'm doing another project. So that's the blood splatter. First of all, that's a lot of blood splatter. That's a whole megabyte as well. We turn it into an animation, and then fade to disappear. In theory. Let's see how this works first before we do that though. Once we get this worked out, I want to get the menu done, or at least the title screen, and go from there. Oh, that's kind of cool. He knocks him over like that. I mean, that's fairly believable, at least. It's not choppy. Change instance into enemy dead. And then create instance. We're going to want to create it negative, or y negative 20. Let's not worry about the gravity for a second, because if we fade it out, it doesn't make a difference. I don't see any blood into it. It might be too big, and it's... I mean, that is a little insanely big. So let's do... I'm going to do a 64, or 2 block radius, basically. Maybe a little bit more than that. Alright, that's good. The blood is there. The problem is now it is I think it needs to be made a little bit bigger. So say 120% bigger. Looks alright. So we'll create an animation. Disappear. Number of frames. 12. It's not really gonna be like a splatter, like a splash or anything. It's gonna be more just like a mist. Problem is, it's actually like it's continuing to go because it fades to disappear and then it continues going. Anything about that? Okay, let's do this. We'll stretch it out over maybe 16 frames. But what we want to happen is main. Go to the enemy create instance of blood. Should be able to just delete after some amount of time or something. No rest of these before. Try rain. I'm just gonna see what this is. Because if this works well, then the mechanic's already built in the Game Maker Studio. Y minus 20. Colors. Red. Create a rain app. Yes. That makes sense. If this doesn't work with the animation, what we'll do is we'll just do the gravity thing that I was going to do before. And then have the gravity, have it collide with the floor and then it die. We could do both actually. That's pretty cool actually. That's really cool. I didn't know Game Maker had that functionality. I've never used it before. So let's just try like an explosion then. And see if it doesn't come from the sky. I was thinking rain. We want that kind of effect just outside of the dead guy. That's actually what we're looking for, something like that. Except a small explosion and maybe actually just at Y. So it's on it, just like we want it to be. The thing is, what it does, puts it around over here, the top of the object. We want it around over here. So that's what, like X plus 30. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this exact effect either. It's also a bit quick, but it's kind of funny looking. I mean, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be ironic. It's not supposed to be a, a beautiful feature or anything. Alright, let's just do the explosion again for now, and we'll get back to that. Unless the firework works. That's a little tall, so let's do y plus 10. This will work with the explosion. I keep saying that. If this doesn't work, we'll do this, and then it does work, or it doesn't work, and then kind of get sidetracked with something else. This session's coming to a close soon. I know you've been watching for a while if you've been consistently watching. That is perfect. That is exactly what we want. That is perfect. Alright, so we're going to delete the blood then, because we don't need it, and we don't want to have the extra space in the game. It'll run a little bit faster. Not noticeable, I don't think, but still. Awesome. Okay, so we need to give credit to Master484. Alright. Let's see if we're going to give credit to Master484. We'll keep that tab open. We'll have some credit buttons, and those are important in a second. I'll show you why before this video is over. And then also, I think I did a credit to this. I forgot to keep the page open. It's the background that we're using. I forgot what it's called. I think I just found it by searching moon. I think. It's not that one. It's this one. Yeah. There's no request for... Okay, so we're just going to do credit for that one person. Alright, so we're going to open up our trusty program of Canva. We are going to create a title for the game. Say, I don't know, 300 wide and 150 tall. We need a title for the game though, so that's going to be the hard part. Alright, so we're going to call it something very simple. We just need to figure out what color text is going to be good. Probably like a white text. That could work. We'll call it Slide Hero. Because what is more creative than that? I don't like I do that. Alright, so we can change the fonts here. I guess we need to copy all. It's got to be bold enough to stand on its own. Slide Hero, I mean, that could work. Maybe the white isn't a good idea. It has to be very slim white, and that's the thing. Nothing too invasive, like railway thin or something like that, just so it's thin. That's the big thing. already checked for this other character, by the way. They don't require credit. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a name, a better name. Slide Hero. I don't like that. Slide Hero. Blood Slide. I mean, that'll work. It's better than the other title. Oh, I forgot. I need to. I don't know. What did I do? I need to redo this. Redo. Come on. Go back. No. Undo. Undo. There we go. And then what I made a mistake with, what I need to do is copy and do another thing down here and change the font size here. Aim by. Do 6. That's good. Thing is with this, we do transfer background, that's good. I want to do black just because I think it would look better. No, white will definitely look better. Do it grayish, so we don't want to be too white. We don't want it to be standing, it will stand out. We don't want it to stand out too much, we just want it to kind of be there. Just slide it straight into slide. Get it? The game. Alright, so we're going to add a sprite, title, screen. We're going to make the sprite an object just because we don't have to add it into the background. It'll be easier for us to adjust it as we need it as a title screen. Then fiddling back and forth with the background. Definitely needs bigger than that. Needs to be a lot bigger. Needs to be 3 times as big. Okay. We'll resize this. I don't know, file. Change dimensions, use custom dimensions. We'll do 900. Wait. 900 to 150. We don't need it to be bigger than that. Alright, so. I don't know, I should have known that. Change dimensions again. I guess it doesn't need to be bigger than that. I know, sorry, this video's getting a little long. Overall, I think this is going to look good, though. And we're going to do a sleek introduction to this game. So what that means for us is we are going to not have like start buttons. What we're going to do is we're just going to go straight into the game. Have instructions on the main screen here. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. You could kind of resize it in Game Maker as well. I just try not to because it kind of skews it. So what we're going to do is simply give credit to those who need it. So the one guy who needs it. looks alright. Might be able to stretch it a little bit more. Maybe that's why my name looks it's a little thin. Text isn't big enough. Let's change this color a little bit. We'll make that a little bit darker, move it down to 18. And this is the last one. Okay. Could look okay down here. The moon's in the way. Unless we do the background and we don't stretch it, like I initially thought of doing. It's alright. I mean, we'll do a little more adjusting here and there. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. This is session 2 of the 2D adventure game that we're developing. So far in Bloodslide, what we have is, what we did in this episode at least, we configured the room, made a background, we added some more sprites, animations for the sprites, gave it a title screen, used Canva a little bit, made an enemy, got some blood splatter going for that. Collision events with this, which works pretty well. That gets stuck, but that's okay. If we really wanted to, we could go as far as only doing slide mechanics in this game. But I think that'd get a little boring. Yeah, I feel like this is cooler. So what we're going to do next episode, next session, session 3, the final one. It's really simple, the next one. This is the bulk of everything. So the next session we are going to simply add some more levels. We are going to add a little bit of information on the main screen here. I mean, simply, we're just going to put something like right over here, text, same font, maybe lower sized, maybe plain white. We're going to just say, use A and D to slide, and use left and right to move, and something like that. And hit escape at any time to exit the game. Something like that, something simple, straightforward. And we're just going to keep developing levels. And levels are going to be easy to develop, they're going to be kind of fun to develop. And we are going to have some fun in the next session. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next session. How are you guys doing today? My name is Jacob Zoll, and we are back again. Right after the past video, I'm recording this again, the session 3 of the 2D platformer game. Just a quick correction. The past few videos have called it an adventure platformer, but I have had to make the distinguishing feature of the game. It's just a platform. It's not an adventure platformer. Adventure platforms generally have some sort of RPG aspect in them, whether it be picking up weapons or interacting with the environment, like buttons or things like that. So I do have another project coming up soon that's going to be an adventure platform, but this is just a platform. Just clarification, because I know you're reading platformer and you might be wondering why it says that. Anyways, so the last video we did was, we did a lot actually. The last was about an hour and 20 minutes long, and we made some animations, put them in the game, not made them, but we got them, put them in the game, and we also created a title for the game, added an enemy, blood splatter, background, things like that. and give it sliding motions. This explains the name of the game. And that crazy blood. I might want to make it a little lower a bit, but so what I was just about to get started with is the title. Not the title, but we want to give it some sort of off the side, over here somewhere. We want to say the controls of the game. So keys to move. I don't want it to be too long either. Let's zoom this in. These arrow keys or left and right. Use arrows for left and right. Use A and D. I'm trying to think if an arrow key might be more applicable here. If we can get some sort of info, like a graphic, something like this, except I'm not paying $1 for that. That's ridiculous. Alright, so what we're going to do, it looks like, we're going to build our own kind of graphic design thing. Let's try to find something that we want to use a base of. Alright, what we can do, let's see if there's anything in illustrations. There's nothing. Alright, we are going to resize this again to say, I don't know, which should not be more than 100 by 100. That's ridiculous if it is. Delete. Shouldn't delete that. I'm going to change this text. We are going to this is A. If I could find what I just used. This is the final session, by the way, of this project. So we don't have that much more to do. All we have to do is fix some things up here, some instructions in the main menu, and then we're going to go through and give some more levels to the game. That's basically it. I said in the last video, I might personally make an actual game out of this and upload it to something. I don't know, maybe not. But if I do, I'm going to end up there. It is right with it. I'm going to end up doing it on my own time, not recorded. So. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I did not want it to say blood slide. It's not a big deal, though. Not a big deal. Alright, so we'll go here. We're going to create a sprite. We're going to make it, say, 120 wide and say, I'm not sure, 80 high. It's probably good. Should be pretty easy from here, because all we're going to be doing is making 2 boxes. I'm just gonna do that. And we're going to I'm not sure if that's going to look good, but we will see, won't we? That looks alright, just... pixel art. Gotta love it, but you gotta hate it. I guess you don't really have to hate it, but... Alright, so we're gonna copy this, we're gonna paste this, and there should be a way for us to rotate. Not the whole thing. Okay, well, what we can do instead, we'll delete this, we'll do this, copy it, delete, and paste. I'm going to call this left key, underscore SPR. I don't want to have to do this, do each differently. And then we're going to do right key, SPR, we're going to edit, and we're going to mirror. And then we're going to how big is this? It's 50 wide, so we're going to make 120 wide. 130 wide. Oh no, sorry, 230 wide. So what we want to do is give it enough space where we can, because this is for the keys. Copy that, paste that. So there's not really any confusion about each corner. And I'm just going to erase everything that's in here. Oh, not. What I meant to do. Control Z. There you go. WD keys underscore SPR. And then we have to add the actual keys still. So W SPR. Load sprite. I can't remember which one this is. That's A. That's A and A. Alright, I guess we'll do A first. Oh, it's D anyway, it's not A. Oops. And D, SPR, let's sprites, should be the fifth one. Where is it? Come on. Oh, it's right. Gotta add it to the file still, or the folder. Okay. Oh, we didn't make any of those objects, right? So now we're going to, let's see. left key. I don't need to go through each of these. I've gone through that plenty of times throughout this video, so I'll just do it instead of verbalizing everything I'm saying or thinking. Alright, there we go. Now we can see if this works. Ooh. It's locking in place. Oh, that works out well. That looks good so far. I'm not liking that moon there, though. Alright, so let's see if we can go and make this darker. Overall, I do think it looks good, though. And it doesn't have to look the best, it looks good enough, which is what we need. This is not fun. So what I have to do is I've got to go through each of these little dots. If I mess up, I've got to do Control Z every time, or else I'm turn the whole thing white, which we don't want. It's like playing a little bit of Minesweeper. Doesn't even look good. I wonder what happened to it. Let's go back here and we'll try white. It is white, but it's thin. Maybe that's part of the reason. I'm gonna do A as well. spray for A. No. No, come on, really? Sometimes we don't let it save, it doesn't save, and there we go, save now. Such a pain sometimes. It's also because I'm being an idiot and I'm dragging it like I really don't need to. Alright, that's better. That isn't better though. Come on, Canva. I know I'm saying it's Canva, it's probably mostly me. But still, I'm gonna blame Canva. Alright, let's load it up. See how it looks. That looks pretty good. I think it's a little uneven. I'll double check, but it gets the point across. Let's move that blood splatter. Can we move down? I think we can actually. Can't remember. Enemy create firework at. Plus Y means further down, so say 30. Okay. Let's double check this room though. Make sure this is even. It's even now. Cool. Now what we can do, so we're going to create an object, we're going to call it nLevel underscore SPR. So what I want to do with the game, oops, sorry, we're going to add a sprite, add a new one, we're going to do, say, 8x8, doesn't make a difference. We'll make it blue or yellow just in case we need to see it for some reason. This has to be very small, nLevel, OBJ. So what we're going to do is I want the game to work so if the main character hits the enemy, then the enemy drops this and then it falls, and then that way gives you a few seconds of pause, and then it catapults you to the next level. So how this can work with multiple enemies is we're just going to copy and paste. We're going to get another sprite. I'll just do this now actually. Not another sprite. We just need another enemy, duplicate, enemy OBJ, parent, enemy OBJ. I'm going to call this final enemy OBJ. So if there's multiple enemies in a room, the final enemy is going to be the one that drops it. So that means we need to change this guy to the final enemy. Okay, so now we're going to go to main. So what's going to happen now is you're going to add event, collision, final enemy, and then he's going to, first of all, we want to do the same thing here, create, and then create a firework as well because of the blood, and then we want to create an instance, create a moving instance. Yeah, we're going to do that. We don't have to do the gravity thing. Perfect. end level at final enemy underscore object.x underscore object.y at a speed of 1, direction of 270. And then what we want to do is add another sprite. Actually, we don't need to do that. What we can do, save us some time, create another object, and call it end level collide underscore OJ. Same look as the other end level. So what we're going to do from here, end level collide, I'm going to lock everything into place. And we can stretch this out. Oh, that's kind of cool looking, actually. So now what's going to happen, once the end level, add a collision event with this, collide and the end level collide, it goes to the next level. And we're going to make an extra room. Main background, stretch it. And you know what, we are going to start, up here, way up there. So first of all, we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. You know what, we're going to we're going to design it without the background, just because it's easier to see what we're doing. This level, we're probably going to want to do this for most of it, just so nobody walks out of the room. Doesn't matter what it looks like. So we're going to make it start down over here. Give him plenty of space. We'll see how that works. What I want to do I think that'll look cool. Gotta close it on you. Actually, we'll close it off too. Okay. So now we are going to create the main character. He's going to go way up here. 0, 0 again. Plant on the ground. We're going to create an enemy. The final enemy, actually. Go over there. End level collide, we're going to put it down over here. Now, I'm not going to make another level to test it, so if it does work, we're going to get an error, which is good in this case. one more thing we need to do first is we need to create an enemy duplicate and enemy duplicate enemy left SPR. So we're going to edit the sprite, we're going to transform, and we're going to mirror him to face the other direction. And it's going to be the exact same as the other one. So we're going to create enemy left underscore SPR or underscore OBJ, and the left, the parent is going to be just a normal enemy because it's the exact same, just different sprite behind it. Alright, so now we're just going to place him. We're going to add the background. And we test it. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's see if it works. Then from here, we'll just do some more level design. We gotta give credit to that one guy still. And then from there, game's finished. That's visible still. We want it to be invisible. And it's going too slow. But it did work. Worked just like we wanted to. Worked like a charm. For some reason this isn't working like it should. And there's that. Alright. Well, first of all, I think there's a gravity thing that's supposed to be in here. Maybe that's part of it. So we'll try that again. I also wanted to change this. It just kind of looks like there's nothing down there. Alright. We're going to go to end level here. We're going to make it invisible. We're going to do the same thing to end level collide. We didn't see it, but still, we don't want it to have the chance to be seen. So we're going to funnel enemy, create a new instance, speed of, I'd say 2, probably is good. What does the gravity have in it? Let's see, create, set the gravity. That makes sense. But why wasn't the left and right working? It's my question. Because the collision? That's gotta go to this. There's no collision, which is why I can still move. So the sprite wasn't changing. But there was no collision because the gravity wasn't provided. Makes perfect sense. Or not. And it's not going to work because the end level is only released when you attack the enemy dead. So what's going to happen is the main attacks an enemy, change other instance into enemy dead. Oof, that's not going to work because what we're going to have to do now. So for this, it's going to work fine. Create an instance of that enemy. But the ones we have a parent of aren't going to work because it has this as well. No, it doesn't. Ooh, it's a parent of the enemy itself. which means everything that applies to this. Attack enemy, object, and then it turns into enemy dead, other, okay, that's good. And then it's going to create a firework at I was trying to have a shortcut, but that wasn't going to work. So what we're going to have to do instead, it's not a big deal, no parent for this. So what we're going to do is we have to do a separate event, collision with enemy left. Which is basically going to be the same thing as this, except the firework is going to be different. It's going to be enemy left OBJ. And this isn't working because I did this. So we need a final enemy. That's why firework didn't work like that. Alright, that's good. But now the only issue is why, unless he might be in the ground slightly. I don't think he was. But we'll find out. Let's call these main / level 1. Alright, here we go. Check down here if he's got to be in the ground or something, because it's because the roof is too high. Right here, the roof is too high because of the code, the way I wrote it, and somehow he's in the ground now. That's weird. All right, not a big deal. We'll change it through level design. I don't remember exactly what I had as the, let me check, main, so left, right, just collision at position, there's 24, so it's less than a block ahead of him, and he's only, let's see, it's only 2 blocks high. So it won't affect him over here. Alright, and then we just need some music after this. I'll create maybe one more level, and then this is going to be it for the video. Like I said, I might continue this project in my own time, but this is principle of it. There we go. Now he's in the ground. He's definitely in the ground now. But he's not on the ground there. What is he here? He's above the ground by 2 pixels? It looks like 2. That's 3. So he's still above the ground here, just like normal. What's so different about this level compared to that level? First of all, there is no gravity in this level. Which might be what's pushing down. That would explain that. But it would also explain we need the gravity to be there. Just so he falls. Gravity in the main object. Let's try that. Let's just launch straight into the second level, so I don't have to worry about the getting through the first one again. So we'll just do I don't like the underscores when it comes to the also when it comes to the levels. Like I said, we'll get some music in here soon, and then we'll call it that. We need the music, well, mostly sound effects, not necessarily music. We need the sound effects for when okay, not relative. Alright, there's one thing that might be an issue here, which is why it's doing what it is. It's because of the collision with the floor. It's setting the vertical speed to 0. Try something again. We need sound effects, that's the main thing for, I was gonna say for like sliding and stuff, but maybe we just want it for like killing an enemy. Preferably for everything, but alright, something weird just happened there. Because he was running fine for a second, and then he wasn't. I need to keep a close eye on this. He falls into the ground. As he's walking, or just he gets stuck there. Because he's in two parts of the wall. It's not double there. They're all the same height. They're all the same height. So my conclusion, the gravity is messing with the vertical speed here into the toggle breakpoint. What is that? Oh, it's like a bulletin. Never seen that feature before. Okay, so well, let me just make sure the floor is solid and the character is solid, right? Okay. And it's just one character, because all he's using is sprites. Now what I'm trying to do is I use the fixed which clearly is not going to work. Okay. Well, the reason why he's running so smoothly is because the gravity hasn't been affecting him this whole time. Which is awkward. So we're going to try this. If this doesn't work, if this whole gravity thing doesn't work, what we can do as well to work around this, it's a feature, not a bug, of course, is to potentially make like a teleporting kind of thing. Like if you run off to the side, that's not working either. You let's say right over here, you tap something, and then that teleports you down over here, and then you can go through the game from there. But that's not exactly it. Fun thing I want to be doing. Alright, so he's not even moving there, he's stuck. Set the friction to, I'll say 2 and see if that does anything. I hate when this kind of thing happens. When everything's going perfect. Because everything was going really well, smoothly. The game looks really good. Alright, let's just take the gravity out of the equation and see. Just to make sure that is the actual issue. No, not this one. This one. That's the issue, and there might be something we can do with that. Instead of gravity, you might be able to do something like vertical speed. Might work. I don't know about that. I don't think this is going to. Actually, it does work fine. Well, because it's friction, it's not going to work as smoothly. So what we need to do is change back to vertical speed, 0. Okay, so the gravity thing we can change potentially. Instead of the gravity, we can make it vertical speed. Make it, I don't know, 2. Applies to main character. I'm thinking it'll cancel each other out, because if he's touching the platform, it's 0, and that's his 2. So maybe it'll cancel each other out, and then when he's not over the platform, or the floor, I'll fall. No, right, because I didn't put it back in level. Still called gravity, but it's not really gravity. I don't think this is going to work. I thought that was a little pipe dream a second ago. It's actually working smoother than the other way. Except this isn't even. Gravity creates the vertical speed of the main object. That's not going to work. Potentially move to contact. Now, I've never used this before, so I don't think it's going to work, but it's just a shot in the dark, going to see if it does anything at all. Gravity should just work, but I'm not sure what's going on with that. This isn't going to work. When I said I don't think it's going to work, I thought it was just going to fall through the map or something, not literally do nothing. Alright, so tried that. We can create gravity. If I do other, it'll probably make everything else fall too. But we'll see. Is it even in this level? Because it's not working again. I thought I put it in the level. It's not working at all. What's going on? Let's try doing this again. Oh, I didn't mean to debug it, but doesn't hurt, I guess. Not a big deal. I'm gonna figure this out though. It's something to do with the gravity, because there aren't really many options for levels if we can't even do that. That is weird. I'm gonna try doing this. Something to do with that, maybe? Maybe the gravity pushing down into it and make everything smooth. I think, like I said, I think it's a mixture between the gravity and the collision with the floor that's making it not want to work. I mean, it was working. I think the gravity's pushing it into the floor, and then maybe the motion between switching sprites, it's not connected to the floor for a split second, so the speed increases a little bit, which and then sinks them into the floor. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna have to look up some code, just some general collision code, because I'm dumbfounded. I don't even know what really the problem is. I think that's what the problem is, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't keep poking at things and not do anything. Floor. There we go. I've got to be logged in to look at it. It's it's too small. Check collision. Only solids. Oh my god. No, I don't want to stay zoomed in. I was hoping it would only be that one page. Okay. I mean, I guess I could try that, but I've tried that with other things. So, okay, if the floor is clear, alright, so let's do this. I'm going to check collision. If there's a collision at a position of main underscore obj dot x, main underscore obj dot y plus 5 with only solid objects. If there is not a collision, and set the gravity relative to 0. No, if there is a collision, set the gravity relative to 0. Because there is gravity in the game already. So in theory what that should do is, when the player's not colliding with the ground, the gravity's activated. Whoa. Not what I... That has to be the relative. Throwing off the direction and stuff. Maybe it's not relative then. Maybe I don't even really know what relative means in this situation. Really? There's a collision above his head. Is that what it has to do with? Because that's ridiculous if it is. I mean, it's not really ridiculous. I made it, but still, damn, this is annoying. Makes me miss the first level already. No, I was thinking that had something to do with it. I'm really not sure what the issue is. If collision with the floor, no. We need to have a create event, I think. Create, if there's a collision on the floor, set the gravity to 0. I think I'm missing a thing here with gravity. I think what we need to do is if there's a collision. No, maybe not. Does gravity work just then? And collide with the floor. And then I guess we'll do vertical speed 0 again. Maybe it's relative to the collision position. I don't think that's going to work either, though. Okay, I think we're getting close, though. We got the gravity actually working now, so. He sunk in because it's the vertical speed again. Damn it. That's what it is. It's part of it, at least. Floor is the vertical speed. We shouldn't even need this event, in theory, right? I mean, if there's a collision at a position, main object, plus 5. Let me just make sure that this is right. Okay, let's use it here. Let's be on the safe side here. 85 to... We'll do 60, just to make sure that it encompasses. if there is a collision, set the gravity to 0. And then in theory, with the gravity, I should do another one of these events if there is not a collision at main obj.x, main obj.y plus 60. Then set the gravity back to 2. Which, unless my logic's wrong, should allow it to only activate when he's over emptiness. There's no collision. And I think it does work a little bit, but if there's a collision at a position, let's do all objects. If there's a collision, well, minus 32 is above him. Applies to self. Applies to, let me just do back and double check that, that's there. I'm dumbfounded here. Really. I think I said that before about something we've got it figured out, so it's not. We get Steel in the world, I can figure it out again, but it's just. What this is, it's a pain. I think maybe we still need this with the floor event, and we'll do it with speed, but I don't think that's gonna, I think it's just gonna stop on making him stuttery. Not what we want to happen at all. It's interesting why it's happening. I really don't get it. Alright. What we're going to do, I can't just leave it at this now and, not have this problem solved or fixed or something with. So we are simply going to take out the gravity equation for now. Remove the event. Yep. We're going to change this. Oh, no, delete that, delete that. We're going to make this horizontal speed, or vertical speed. And we are going to go to the, let's do this, let's be a little clever. Let's go in here. We're going to copy the color of his pants. We are going to create a new object, teleport underscore SPR. I didn't want to have to do this, but it'll do. We'll do 32 by 32, which is fine, and we'll just make a smaller circle. I don't know why it's not being a circle. Guess it is, but not exactly the kind of circle I want. Let's do that, do that. Okay, let's just do this. Copy it, delete. Hey, it's just for hit detection, everything. It'd be a lot easier. Send to that. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do teleport again. For underscore obj. Now we're going to need a few of these objects. So we're going to make a teleport 2 obj, teleport 3, and we'll do teleport 4. I don't think we're not going to need 4 on this level, but I'll make a 4th one just so I have it. So we're going to make the main object collide with teleport obj. We're going to jump to position here. We're going to make it teleport obj, teleport 1 obj underscore dot x, and then teleport 1 dot y, and then we're going to want to delete destroy the teleport 2. We're going to have to change this. That's teleport 2, my bad. Oh, not teleport 3, teleport 2. Okay. And then we're going to destroy the instance. We're also going to destroy the instance of the first teleport. Okay. And then we're going to... No, do not remove it. Okay, so we're going to jump to that position of the teleport 2. So then collide with teleport 2. We're going to jump... No, we're not going to change the instance. Jesus, I'm all over the place tonight. We're going to jump to teleport 3, obj.x, teleport 3, y. And we're going to delete the 2. Actually, just delete the 1, because we're already deleting the first one. And then, just for the sake of having it, we'll do the 3rd one as well. So yeah, things like this. I spent the last 20 minutes trying to figure out the other problem, when I could have just done this in like 10, and you know, would have been a lot easier. But oh well. Like I said, sometimes a bug turns out to be a feature, and this might actually make the game cooler. But we'll have to see. So we're going to teleport there, and then we're going to the last one. We're just going to delete the 4th one. Okay. So level 1, we're going to want to change some things around here. So teleport. We want to make it a lot smaller than that, though. We're going to change teleport 2 over here. Teleport 3. To 4, right? I guess we did need the 4th one. Now that should work. Let me just go resize this. I don't like how it looks. Let's stretch down to 30%. Real tiny. Maybe too tiny. You know what? We're going to change the color. It wasn't as clever as I thought it was to make it that color. So we'll just make it white. Okay, 180 opacity on the outsides. I don't even need to do that because it's already kind of done for us. Alright, let's see how this looks. See it plays. Hopefully it worked perfectly fine. Then we'll get into sound and credit. Oh, that works fine. Ooh. so the problem is, how tall is main character? Main character is 45 pixels high, so we need to make the snap 45. Nope. Actually, this one doesn't even matter. It's really just the ones he's coming down on. These we don't want them to be that high, because we don't want him to miss them for some reason. But those matter. And then we're also going to want to close off this area, because we don't want the player to know that gravity doesn't apply to him. Hopefully that works. And like I said, I'm just going to go to this one level, and then we'll do sound, and that's it. Sound shouldn't take too long, in theory. Really, we're just looking for like some sort of sound library. And it should be an error. Oh, actually, no, that's the second level. Okay. That works. There are some little buggy things with the teleporting that I need to fix. So I shall do that in my own time. That's not a big deal. The big thing... We could do, I didn't think about this, we can make these invisible, which is what we're going to want to do. Problem is we won't know if he's sliding or if that's how we're gonna do it. I'll do that real quick just to show you. So we're gonna make it so he is sliding when he's teleported down here. Which means under the slide, he's 45 high. No, he isn't. That's how high the box is. Can I see the pixel count anywhere? No, I'm gonna have to count it myself. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18 high, I think. So 18. Oh, stop. This feels wrong. Alright, we'll try this again, and then we'll just go straight to the music, even if it doesn't work. That's going to be a tricky thing I'm going to have to spend a bit of time on. It's really just plugging and playing numbers and stuff. Shouldn't be too difficult. Windows? Yeah. I think what's happening is from the top of his head. He's being spawned there. Which is what the plan was initially. Okay, no worries. I will figure that out in my time. Let's go over here, open game art real quick. Need to give him credit to, so we're going to master 484. Copy that link. We'll do this. real quick for him. Change the size to 300 wide. Oh, wrong direction, my bad. 300 and 100. Why can I not do anything with that? I guess I'll make a new one. Okay. Partial art credit. Let's see what this website has. It's even a lot if it's even around anymore. Why is it doing this? It's just annoying me, I swear. Ooh, that's annoying. We'll link to his page on OpenGameArt instead. We'll just say partial credit. Master 484. Okay, we'll change the text. The same thing we did before. We find it again. Sorry, I know I said the last video was going to be the longer one. I didn't mean for this one to be this long. I apologize. Where are you? I keep forgetting the name of that text, the font. I passed it. No, it didn't. Railway. That's what it is. Why can't I remember that? I'm going to make this very white. Transparent. Well, it's not. I meant to change the name again. Alright, so we're going to make a new one. Art, credit, underscore SPR. We'll load this in. Let's line 10. There's the D I was looking for, though. Alright, well. We're not doing much music. It's going to be very basic. I just need to find like a sound pack that has a bunch of generalized sounds. It says gunshot or whatever, things like that. Silly things like that that we could just use for anything. Whatever sounds good. Okay, so art credit, OBJ, we're making an object because add event, gonna left mouse click and go to, where is it? Under main 2, open a web page and add his link there. Ooh. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. No, not working. Don't save changes. I had it in a good spot. There we go. Way too big. I feel like that's so patronizing, saying partial credit. But I mean, I am only using one of his sprites. Everything else I've compiled elsewhere with people who didn't ask for credit. So yeah, that's good. And then click this, and it's going to just open up the page. That's good. All right, let's the music now. Finally. Ooh, I'm looking at the music or 2D art section. I want like a pack of sounds, not music, but 50 MIDI tunes. Vibes down. We don't want like we don't want music, we want sound effects. Okay, this could work. Oof. Not the kind of sound effects I was thinking about. Not the kind of sound effects I was thinking about. We need like game sound effects. I had one for another game I worked on after I moved everything out of that folder into my spare hard drive. 8-bit sound library. This is okay. This could work. Let's see. I think a hit 2 is gonna be good for hitting enemies. So we'll go ahead and add that in now. Go over here to the sound tab. E, sound library. MP3, hit 2. Okay. Hit. There's the main, add event, enemy, play a sound. It's going to be under, where is it? Under main 1. Play sounds, hit, and we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste this. Hit, yeah, first. Okay. Make sure it works, make sure it's loud enough, and then we'll keep adding sounds, just a few more. That's good. Perfect. Just what we need. Maybe a tiny bit louder, but that's basically what I wanted to show you. I just wanted to give the interface of how to download a song, or add a song. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this. This project file, just like all my other project files, the videos, is going to be in the description, so you can mess around with this yourself. It's not going to be a completed game entirely. Like I said, I probably will work on this in my own time because I like this concept. It's an interesting mechanic. It looks decent. It's kind of funny, a little bit, you know. Like the irony in the second session. So in this session, what we did was we added some teleporting option. Well, tried to add another level. We added some sounds. We made another level. Things like that. So, anyways, thank you very much for watching this project. If you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you very much for watching.